Hey guys, my name is Dr. Doxy and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Chainsaw Man and why I think it could be the best anime of 2022 if it's done correctly. And yeah, I know I'm jumping a few guns here because we've got like one or two trailers and we haven't even got a set in stone release date for it yet. But bear with me because from reading the manga, it has so much potential to be an absolutely phenomenal show. Like, if you're watching this, you probably already know what Chainsaw Man is, but for those very few of you that probably live under a rock somewhere and do not know what it is, then let me tell you a little bit about it as spoiler-free as I possibly can. Chainsaw Man is a story of this 16-year-old guy called Denji who basically inherits this massive debt from his dad after he passes away to the Yakuza, and he ends up doing these odd jobs for him to try and repay this debt. One of these situations ends up leading to him becoming this weird kind of half-devil creature that can turn his arms, legs, and his face into a chainsaw. And I realize how weird that sounds now that I've said it out loud, but I promise you, it is actually a really good read. So if you haven't read it, go read it now, because genuinely it's very, very good. Actually, no, scratch that last statement. Watch the rest of this video first, then go read it. I would very much appreciate it. If you've spent the time reading Chainsaw Man so far, then you know exactly how great of a read it is. And the fact that it's sold, what, like 16 or something million copies so far, should show you the hype around it. And just to reiterate that point, when the first English volumes came out, they were not producing enough of them to keep up with the demand. Like, actually deep that a second, because that is madness. It's complete madness, but it doesn't surprise me at all, because it is just that well written. It's got twists, it's got cool ass fights, and it's got fan service, and it's got really good characters that actually have depth to them, which is mental to me, because usually you read something or you watch something and like, the protagonist has all this character arc, or the bad guy or bad woman has all the character arc, but every character in this show, or in this manga I should say, has depth to them in various degrees, and it just shows how much that's packaged in here that there is to unfold when the anime comes out. Like, everyone's likable in their own way as well, like especially Power. Jesus Christ, I can't wait to see how they portray Power in this series, because she was by far my favorite character in the manga. She kind of shouts and she just hates vegetables, and she's so naive but also kind of wholesome but also really angry, and I don't know, man, just as soon as she's introduced, I loved her. And I know a lot of people will say, but like, oh, what about Makima, blah blah blah, but yeah, Makima's cool and all that, but I'm not going to talk about her too much because there's a lot to unpackage when it comes to Makima, and that's a whole video in itself that we're not going to dive down right now. But besides all that, like, purely from what we've seen in the small snippets of trailers so far, the animation looks phenomenal. Like, it's very, very, very pretty to look at. Obviously, we haven't seen like fights, we haven't seen interactions of people, we haven't seen much of it at all. We've got very little to go on. But I do believe it's being animated by MAPPA, and MAPPA animated Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan Season 4, I believe. And you can say whatever you want about those shows. Aesthetically, they are beautiful. They are stunning to look at, even if you don't like the shows. You've got to give the visuals credit, you know? Come to think of it, completely off topic and just left field, it's going to be a very adult show, because if you've read the manga, Denji drops F-bombs more often than I eat food. And contrary to my supermodel-esque figure, I do actually eat a lot of food. So I'm very curious if they're going to keep as many F-bombs as he drops in there, or if they're going to kind of like PG it a little bit more. And also, he's got a weird obsession with touching women's boobs, but that again is a whole different conversation in itself, and we're not going to dive into that one too much right now. Now, I was going to say that the manga's been on kind of hiatus for the past like year or so, which could slow the momentum of the show down a little bit. But literally, as I was recording this, it was brought to my attention that the second arc, should we call it, will return on July the 12th. And that's kind of just like increased my hype dramatically, because it is addictive, and I think the show will be addictive too, if that makes sense. Like, as a person who's read it, and I know what's happened, I'm still going to be glued to the screen when it's all unfolding, and I'm still going to watch it the second I can. So I can't imagine how a person who hasn't read it will react to the kind of frantic roller coaster that Chainsaw Man is. Like, bear in mind, we haven't even really spoken about like the potential for fight scenes, because the manga has a large amount of fighting in it, whether it's the minor devils that Denji fights along the way, or the main antagonist of the kind of arc. There is so much potential for immense fighting scenes, especially if they're portrayed as they are in the manga. But I don't want people to get it twisted and think this is just like a generic shonen, because it really isn't. Like this, as much as I love Dragon Ball, this isn't Dragon Ball. This isn't kind of fighting, let's get stronger, woohoo, move on next enemy. No, there's fighting elements, there's wholesome elements, there's bits that will make you laugh. It will give you a plethora of emotions, and that's kind of what you want in a show. It has everything, but it has the potential to have everything, as long as the show keeps a large proportion of the manga. Because look, they're not going to have everything in it, I know that and you know that, but if they keep the main meat, like the nitty gritty of it, this will look and play out to be so goddamn good. Like, I can't wait to show it to people, or to hear like friends who haven't read the manga that have watched the show and will sit there and go, oh my god, I was so shocked when this happened, or this bit made me cry, or damn, it was funny when this person said this. I love that. I love shows that can give you so many emotions, and I think this is one of those things that can cause, well, it has the potential, I should say, to cause people to react in that sense with all these different kind of emotions. And just, that's kind of what you want, you know. You want something to just, you don't want one dimensional, you don't want anything to just kind of be the same stuff different day, same stuff different day. This will be unique, it will be special, and as long as they keep to the manga, like I said, it will be phenomenal. Like, to be super blunt, it's going to be fire, and I need a release date like now, and I want to watch the show like tomorrow, and I know I can't. I've got to wait numerous months at least to watch it, and that really pisses me off more than I can put into words. But you know what? I guess it's fine, because we are all waiting together. We all want more Chainsaw Man. We all want to know how it translates to the big screen, so to speak. We all just kind of want to know what happens next. Will it be 2022's best anime? Will it be to 2022 what Demon Slayer was for 2016? Only time will tell. But I think it has the immense potential, with everything there is to unpackage in there, to be the best anime of this year. As long as it's like paced right and they keep true to the manga and don't try and rush anything, it could be this year's anime. It's definitely the most anticipated anime of the year, and whether it can hit the heights that I believe it could, only time will tell. But in my personal opinion, I think with all the subject matter at hand, it deserves to be the biggest anime of the year. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say today, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you like the content I make and you want to see some more. Like, share it with your friends, leave a comment, hit the bell, do anything you guys want to do. It really does help me out though, and it means I can keep going and just kind of make things bigger and better for you guys going forward as we grow together. So I'll see you next time. Take care of each other, and yeah, peace out.